So guys, it has been a while since I posted a video, and actually I have plenty of videos shot that just need to be kind of fused together because for some reason when it's hot my camera doesn't last long, and it's really probably because my phone overheats. And so they're kind of in pieces and they just need to be fused together. I have not sat down at a computer in like 5 days. But I did want to kind of try and make a little video before I head in because I'm making really good time. It is 6 in the morning, but it's already getting light down here. And so look here, we have some of those cucumbers. Now these are still the salt and pepper cucumbers, but I noticed they turn yellow during the heat, and honestly they're even sweeter when they're yellow. When they're white you may not be able to tell if they're ripe or not, but when they're yellow it's a lot easier to tell. You can see that the heat is taking toll on the cucumbers. They are still flowering actually fairly well. Here's a new flower right there. And so they're flowering, but they definitely have some pest and illness. You can see the little, so definitely kind of succumbing to some diseases. They're still pushing through, but you can see them. And that's really just the heat. They need to be resown, but look at the amount of weeds right here. If anybody's been around since I originally planted this, you know that this had no grass or anything underneath it. There's actually a hill of compost right here, but you can't tell because of that. So I either need to come in and pull them out or likely just redo the compost there, which is fine. That just gives added nutrients to the plants. And see, here's a better example of the baby cucumbers in this. So it's funny because this is a white cucumber. That's why it's called salt and pepper, that has black spines. But a good portion of cucumbers I found, especially grown in the Texas heat without any protection outside of a greenhouse or without shade cloth, do turn yellow when it gets warm. Let's see what we have down here. Looks like ants. And there are even cucumbers growing on the ground. See, look at this. Protected, but look at all those ants too. Yikes. So I've had cucumbers actually grow on the ground this season. Here's one down here right now that's on the other side that's actually down there growing. So I won't say this isn't a productive plant. It is. I think it's just going to be more of an early spring plant, even though it grows well outside. But also the chickens did ravish it. But look at these. These are the Heavy Hitter Okra. Man, they are amazing. They are producing so well. Right here is a flower that's just about to open, and okra are related to hibiscus. So this is a gorgeous flower when it does open. I absolutely adore them. Hibiscus are one of my favorite. Here's another baby flower. That's a flower that hasn't opened yet. So I've said this before, but when the first year, a couple years ago that I grew okra, I couldn't tell the difference between the flowers and the baby fruit. So a good example is this is the flower right here, and then this is the fruit once it forms and the flower falls off. So this is an unopened flower and it's a little more pointy, and that helps. Now look, these are getting massive because, like, oops, I broke a branch to it. I really shouldn't be pulling at these. I really do need to go get my plant clippers because I just broke a branch off. It will recover, just not going to be pretty. And these have a little taproot, so they're just not big enough really to withstand being pulled on. Now once they're 6+ feet tall, nothing's gonna pull them out of the ground. But look at this okra, just from me not being out here. But the one thing I found about these is that they're still really squishy. They aren't, they don't get as hard. Because a lot of okra, once they reach a certain size, they do get really hard, really woody. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. It could use maybe another inch or so, but okra grows so fast that within a few hours it would reach its peak point, and then I would miss out a little. So I'm just amazed by these. So I did try to eat these raw. Some okra are just gross raw, and these were actually incredible. Even raw, I was so impressed how good they taste and how they don't have a slimy texture like a lot of okra do. They do, once they get larger like this, they do have some sliminess to them. Just look at this. Oh, look. Nasty little stink bug. That is a stink bug or a leaf-footed bug. The bane of my existence sometimes. And so this is a massive okra too, but still, like I said, incredibly squishy compared to other types. And I'm still gonna cut this up and prepare it because the seeds aren't fully developed yet. So it, you know, and when you fry it or saute it, it does get squishy. But if this was like, say, a cownhorn okra or one of the really squatty hill country type okras, there's just no way I would be able to let them stay out here and go. For me, this is the perfect size okra, especially for pickling. This is it. Just a few inches. So 3 and 4 inches seem to be like the optimal size for this. And here's one pretty good size. Here's a one that's kind of small. I might let that go a little longer. And then this one, another pretty decent one. Oh man, so all the okra is doing pretty well overall, as you can see. And then all of the lettuce, and here's a better view of these. They've gotten quite tall. And, oh, I missed one. I might need a little bit more. Yeah, these heavy hitters are definitely holding up to their name. I'm getting a good amount of okra, and they're still fairly small plants. You know, this is kind of my height compared to them, so they come up to my knee. And I'm not even a full 5'5", so... But they're good, what, 2 feet, maybe? These are the flowers from all of the lettuce that bolted. The lettuce are looking really rough. It's really hot, so... But then all of these... So when you pull the white fluffy part, these are the lettuce seeds right here. So, and they are really sticky. So you can see that it's just really that easy to collect it. Right here, this fluffiness. When you pull, it's connected to it. That one was a little harder, but it's in here. But here, let me try again. Pulling this white, and then that's it. Those are your lettuce seeds. It's really that easy to collect from these. These are the Cimarron lettuce. They are amazing. They are absolutely incredible, and they're one of my favorites. You can see that the vine finally succumbed to mostly to pest. It keeps trying to restart, but I just think the squash bugs are all so bad. I'm gonna try planting a little later, but here it's just kind of dead. So that melon plant didn't survive. We really need to mow, and this fall we'll be in a better position, so hopefully we'll be able to add a lot more plants to the garden. But with work being so crazy, me working so much more than usual, because I usually am a weekend worker, and right now I'm working way more than that. Oh my gosh. So I guess just in the last week or so, these blackberries have grown so much. They've actually come out, and because of that, it has caused it to bend right here and almost break, but somehow I guess it continued to grow because it didn't fully snap. And it actually has a ton of fruit and flowers on it, which is insane. So I probably should actually cut that. I might do that when I get home. We'll see how tired I am. But that's probably gonna need to be cut so it can heal before an infection's introduced. I actually have a little okra growing here. And then all these too, this blackberry has basically pushed up a new set of growth right here. So this could be its own plant, so it's so tall. And it's come out way out here, several feet, well over 3 feet from the base of the actual plant. So you can kind of see everything's just wild here. And these strawberries are kind of looking sad, and it's just because it's so hot. They usually die out in the heat of the summer and come back the following year when it cools down, or even in late fall. It's not uncommon because it stays pretty hot here all the way up through, well, and through September, often through October, but sometimes we get a cold front around Halloween. And look how big these blackberries are. And sometimes not until late November. So it just really depends. I will say the one great thing about having scrubs on is that there is and now, so this is the ideal size for my blackberries. It probably could use a little less color, a little more color, because it's still a little purple, but at the end of the day, these usually go in the freezer and are sweetened whenever the kids make smoothies, so it's best not to have them overly ripe. Anyways, wow, a double blackberry. They fuse together. That's pretty cool. That's a big one because the way these two fuse. And looks like these are no, they're almost fused. So basically, I was saying, I keep interrupting myself, is that I love wearing scrub tops, obviously for work, but it also is so great in the garden because you're gonna shove so much stuff in your pockets, in various pockets, whether it's in the pockets on my top or on my scrub pants, so it's kind of nice. I can't believe how many blackberries are out here, but the heat index was 115 over a week ago. We're currently in quite the heat wave, so it's actually significantly higher now, which means my kids are not coming outside during the day. My daughter definitely can't handle the heat because she struggles. Part of her condition is struggling to regulate her temperature. And my second boy actually struggles with that too and is hot even during winter. So nobody's coming out during the heat wave, which means there are quite a bit of blackberries and other things to harvest, just because kids like to snack and they'll come out here and eat whatever they desire. That can go to the chickens. I think this is probably the biggest berry I've had ever. That is huge. Some of these berries are well over 3 inches in length, and then at least an inch across, and then some grow a little smaller. So it just depends, because I primarily have the Arkansas Traveler, Primark Traveler berries planted, but I do have 2 Freedom berries. I can't actually tell the difference. It may actually just be production and storage, but I can't tell the two apart. And we get a pretty good amount. They're thornless, they work really well, and they produce on both the Floricanes, so last year's growth, and the Primacanes, which are this year's growth. And then once the Floricanes flower for the second year and they produce fruit, they pretty much die. So that's how you're gonna tell your older canes right here, because they've produced their second crop of fruit. Last year they looked like this, and then they became kind of woody and produce fruit again, and then they die. And then you just come down here at the base where it's died and just cut it off, and that's it. And then you'll see the new growth has pushed up from the roots. So it's actually fairly easy to tell if you wait until they finish fruiting, because here's another example. It fruits the second time and then just dies back. So it's really easy to tell versus the green growth up here that's still kind of going pretty strong. There's still so much to show. We've actually cut back on a lot of animals, but got some adult chickens, and so that's a lot of fun. But I have to head off to work this morning, so I won't get to update you guys on that, because I've shot so many videos but haven't got them posted. You're gonna see videos out of order. So you're gonna see this video, and then you're gonna see videos from when our ducks went broody, and some videos pertaining to the geese. But big surprise and reveal is that we actually don't have any geese right now. My neighbor's parents have the geese at their house, and they're raising them on pasture there, which is really cool. And in exchange, they gave us some adult laying hens, some Rhode Island Reds, and one that I'm just not sure what breed it is. So I'll show those off later this week, but thank you guys for kind of checking in on just this part of the garden. There's a lot more going on in the front yard where the new apple trees are growing and the flower garden is, but I just have not gotten around to getting up there and taking care of or dealing with any of that. There's a ton of herbs, especially bee balm and other varieties of mint to harvest, chives, all of that nature. So I'm glad y'all were able to kind of see just a quick update of this area, see how the Heavy Hitter Okra is doing and those salt and pepper cucumbers, because those two things I was extremely excited about. It's my first year growing them, and I really just want to capture the process and get some more information both for myself and everyone else out there. So thanks for checking it out.